Hello, everyone. My name is Simone Veil Prize. For some reason, I see many people that have my name on Zoom, which is very strange. So I just want to wave and say hi. And whoever can change their name to other names, I have no idea what happened. But please feel to rename yourselves. I'm a project manager at APJ, and today our aim is to introduce Simone Veil Prize. On the first session, we will go over all the categories, eligibility, and what is actually Simone Veil Prize. On the second session, we will gather all your questions. Some of you in the registration wrote questions, but also today you will be able, towards the end, to ask questions, and we will try to answer some of them maybe today, but for sure on our next session, which is on Thursday. Both sessions will be recorded, and we will also send you this presentation so that you have it with you. Before I continue, I just want to introduce our consortium, which consists of GOPA PACE, GOPA, and APJ, and I will ask representatives of GOPA to share with us who they are, and if I don't see everyone on the screen, so if you're here, please just introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
Should I go ahead? I'm just gonna throw myself in. Hello everyone, my name is Félicie Cartido. I'm the project manager on GoPaCom side of things. So we're steering up the wheel when it comes to the whole communication campaign. So when it comes to social media, when it comes to press relations and so on, I'm your go-to person. So I'm really happy to be sharing this great project with AEPG and also my colleagues from PACE. Miguel, are you here somewhere?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Miguel Centralmana. I'm one of the two persons that is part of the consortium from GOPA PACE. The other one is Vincent Curie, one of the directors of GOPA PACE. And our main role within the Simone Veil Prize will be managing the community of practice that will be formed once the first award ceremony is implemented. So yeah, from GOPA PACE, we are very happy to be part of this consortium and very much looking forward to work with all of you.
Thank you very much. And now we'll ask Alina and Victor to also introduce themselves and what APJ is, and also how is this prize connected to EU and EU funding and initiative. Please.
Yes, Victor, with your permission, I'm going to go first. Happy to see everyone here. Thank you for coming. It's a wonderful team. We're all together running this project for the first time. Very excited and with the very good pressure. Sonia and I and Victor and our colleagues from GOPA and our colleagues from the APJ are really looking forward to taking this project to the next level. Thank you everyone for coming. Victor, to you.
Thank you, Alina, and good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for the interest in the Simone Veil Prize. Before speaking about the prize itself, let me briefly introduce the organization that we represent, some of us here. The APJ, the European Association for the Preservation and Promotion of Jewish Culture and Heritage, is a European network bringing together public institutions, municipalities, Jewish communities, museums, cultural organizations, and heritage professionals committed to safeguarding and promoting Jewish heritage across Europe. For more than 20 years, we have worked to support Jewish cultural heritage as an integral part of Europe's shared history and cultural diversity. Through initiatives such as the European Roots of Jewish Heritage, a cultural route of the Council of Europe, the European Days of Jewish Culture, and a wide range of European cooperation projects, we work to strengthen the visibility of Jewish heritage, foster intercultural dialogue, support local communities, and contribute to a more inclusive understanding of European history and identity. It is therefore particularly meaningful for APJ to be involved in the implementation of the Simone Veil Prize, as it reflects many of the values and objectives that have guided our work for more than 2 decades. We are also delighted to be working alongside the Creative Europe team and our consortium partners at GOPA. Beyond the project itself, this collaboration has been a wonderful opportunity to learn from colleagues whose dedication, expertise, and enthusiasm continue to inspire us every day. The Simone Veil Prize is much more than a cultural award. It's a European initiative that reflects a broader vision of what cultural heritage can contribute to our societies today. Named after Simone Veil, the prize embodies values that remain profoundly relevant: memory, dignity, democracy, resilience, dialogue, and European cooperation. As many of you know, the prize is co-founded under the Creative Europe program and aims to recognize projects that contribute to safeguarding, interpreting, and transmitting Jewish cultural heritage across Europe. But importantly, it does it through a contemporary lens. This is not only about preservation. It is about understanding heritage as a living resource that can foster participation, education, social inclusion, and democratic engagement. It is about recognizing projects that help connect communities, encourage reflection on our shared histories, and create meaningful spaces for encounter. In that sense, the prize is closely connected to one of the most important policy frameworks developed by the European Commission in recent years, the EU Strategy on Combating Anti-Semitism and Fostering Jewish Life, 2021-2030. This strategy was a historic milestone. For the first time, the European Union adopted a comprehensive framework, not only to combat anti-Semitism, but also to actively support and foster Jewish life in Europe. The strategy is built around 3 major pillars: preventing anti-Semitism, protecting and fostering Jewish life, and promoting education, research, and Holocaust remembrance. The Simone Veil Prize contributes directly to these objectives. Because preserving Jewish heritage is not only about protecting the past, it is also about ensuring visibility, recognition, and participation in the present and helping build a shared future. This vision has been strongly supported by the European Commission and by President Ursula von der Leyen herself. When announcing the creation of the prize, she highlighted the importance of celebrating Jewish cultural heritage and its central role in shaping European identity, recalling Simone Veil's own words about tolerance, freedom of mind, and democracy as essential values for Europe. I think this is precisely what makes the prize so meaningful. It recognizes that Jewish heritage is not a marginal chapter of European history. It's an essential part of Europe's cultural DNA, deeply intertwined with the histories, identities, and cultural landscapes of our cities, regions, and societies. And this is why the prize welcomes such a broad range of initiatives: educational programs, artistic productions, heritage interpretation projects, community initiatives, research, oral history projects, digital innovation, cross-border cooperation, youth engagement, and many other forms of cultural action. Finally, I would like to encourage everyone attending today not only to consider applying, but also to help us spread the word. We know that some of the most initiative and inspiring projects are often local, community-based initiatives that may not always have a strong visibility at the European level, and we will very much like to reach them as well. The success of the prize will ultimately depend on the diversity, creativity, and commitment of the people and organizations who decide to participate. So thank you again for being here today. Thank you for your work, and we very much look forward to discovering your projects and initiatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Victor, for this beautiful introduction of the prize. And as Victor said, we are looking forward to get your applications and to reading them, learning about your initiatives, local, national, or cross-border ones. Everything is welcome. Now I will ask Alina to just share a few words about who Simone Veil was, so that we know who is carrying the name of what name the prize is carrying. Please,
Indeed, Sonia. Thank you so much. I'm afraid it's not going to be just a few words because, as we all know, behind every project, there's a strong story. So the story of this great project, as we see it, is the name itself, the person with this name. Simone Veil, briefly spoken, was a lawyer, a politician, a feminist. She served as France Ministers of Health since 1974 to 1979. She became a member of European Parliament, and she was elected as president, a position she held until 1982. She presided over the first parliament elected by direct universal suffrage and was the first woman to hold that office. I'm going to go back a little bit with the personal story because that is at the core of who Simone Veil became. She was born Simone Jacob, 1927. She was the youngest child of the Jacob family. Simone was born in Nice, France. Her childhood was a happy one. It was marked by a close-knit group of siblings and a very strong bond with her mother, Yvonne. And as a teenager, living under the German occupation, she continued her schooling and her involvement as a Girl Scout while persecution intensified. But in November 1943, using false identity papers under the name Jacquier, she left high school to work at the municipality library. In March 1944, she sat for her baccalaureate examination, although she would not learn that she passed until after the war. What happened next in March 30th, 1944, she was arrested by the Gestapo, which led to the arrest of her mother Yvonne, her brother Jean, and her sister Madeleine. Imprisoned in the Drancy transit camp, the three women were deported to Auschwitz on convoy number 71 on April 13, 1944. At the age of 16, Simone was transferred with her mother and sister to the Brobrecht labor camp. She later endured the death march before being sent to Bergen-Belsen, where she was separated from the family. Liberated on April 1945, she returned to Paris and learned of the death of her father and brother, as well as the deportation of her sister Denise. She then studied law and attendant sciences, married Antoine Veil in 1946, and became the mother of three sons. The accidental death of Madeleine, the only person with whom she shared the experience of deportation, was another devastating tragedy in her life. But after becoming a magistrate, Simone Veil embarked on a career marked by major social, political struggles. She embodied resilience and courage. Deeply affected by her deportation, she transformed her experience into a lifelong commitment to justice, remembrance, and human rights. Just a couple of words of her early years. In France, Simone Veil is best known for women's rights, improving the living conditions of women and prisoners. Across Europe, she is also remembered for honoring and preserving the memory of Jewish citizens who died in the Holocaust during the Second World War, as well as for her commitment to European values and unity. And her political courage was matched by her personal bravery. She survived the Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp, and that says a lot about the way she became. I'm going to skip to the end of her life, even if she did a lot of things. But the thing I want to emphasize at this point is in 2008, upon being elected to the Académie Française, one of the few women to receive this honor, Simone Veil had three symbols engraved on the ceremonial sword presented to every member. Her Auschwitz tattoo number, 78651, the motto of the French Republic, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, and the motto of the European Union, United in Diversity. In July 2018, her remains were interred in the Pantheon in Paris, an honor that had been granted to only 5 women in French history. All of that and so much more about Simone Veil. Stay tuned on the social media. This is part of our communication a program that the COPA so well put together, and find out more about the Simone Veil, her values, and who she represents. Thank you so much. Back to you, Sonia.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you very much for sharing this with us. I'm going to speak now a little bit. We are moving now to what kind of project we are looking for, and I think Victor already mentioned. So we are looking at the heritage as a living thing and as a tool for dialogue, inclusion, and education. And we are emphasizing this because there are many great projects that are built around preservation, and it's not necessarily something that we are looking for in this prize. So think about your projects that you had that are encouraging, as we said, dialogue, inclusion, and education, and that have some kind of a bridge and impact to today. It's very open. The application is very open. So who can apply? You can apply as individual, as organization, or as institution. The only frame that we have is that countries need to be part of Creative Europe program. And I guess you know if you are part of Creative Europe program, or you can check it online. Unfortunately, not all the countries that are in Europe can apply. And you can apply with 2 applications maximum in 2 different categories. There is a prize structure is built around 5 categories. I will mention them in the minute. There will be up to 25 finalists chosen by jury, and there will be 5 winners who will get a prize, 10,000 euros each, also chosen by our jury. So the categories that you could also see in the document that is uploaded on the website, there are 5 categories: shared history, heritage for dialogue, living heritage, cross-border cooperation, youth engagement, and education. I will try to explain very briefly each one of them with few examples. And we are, of course, here if you have any questions, and you can reach us via email if you have any questions about the categories. What is very important is that many projects overlap, so you can be a little bit confused to which category with which category to apply. Our suggestion is just concentrate on the most dominant part of your project, and by that choose the category. That's something that we cannot actually decide for you. So shared history, this category is about helping people better understand how Jewish history is connected to wider history of Europe. It focuses on stories of migration, coexistence, cultural exchange, memory, shared experience within communities. As 2 examples, you have more examples in the document, but as 2 examples I want to highlight here. It can be an exhibition highlighting the role of Jewish women in local and European history. It can be a digital archive preserving Jewish community memories and family stories. Just an example. In the category of heritage for dialogue, it's something that most probably, or we usually call interfaith and intercultural project. And this project are focused on using heritage as a tool to bring people together, encourage dialogue, and combat prejudice, discrimination, and intolerance. And as an example, it can be Jewish Muslim Christian dialogue programs built around shared heritage sites. It can be community projects addressing anti-Semitism through heritage education for diverse group of people, or research projects exploring how heritage can help prevent conflict and strengthen social cohesion. Living heritage. Under this category, we are looking for the projects that are keeping Jewish heritage alive, relevant, and meaningful today, inserting new practices, adapting traditions, places, and cultural expressions for future generations, As an example, for example, a site that was transformed from being a former synagogue into active community and cultural space. Again, the preservation is not enough for this prize, so something needs to happen in the places that are preserved and renovated. Contemporary artistic interpretation of Jewish traditions and symbols, for example, or community festivals celebrating local Jewish culture and heritage. The fourth category is cross-border cooperation. I think it's self-explanatory. It's a cooperation between one or more countries. It highlights shared European stories that cross borders and demonstrate how different communities are connecting through history, again, migration, language, religion, and culture. As examples of the project, it can be a joint exhibition created by museums or NGOs or Jewish communities in different countries. It can be research that is implemented in both countries and that are connecting, for example, Serbia and Hungary. Again, artists collaborating on a different heritage project, etc., etc. The last category, and very important category, youth engagement and education. And again, it's very self-explanatory. These category or projects are concentrated around young people, and the projects should involve youth as leaders or creators or decision makers while they are learning about heritage, history, and contemporary society. Or these projects can be designed explicitly for youth. As an example, school programs exploring local Jewish heritage, intergenerational programs connecting young people with survivors, witnesses, or community elders, youth exchange, etc., etc. So these are the 5 categories. We can, of course, answer more questions if there is a confusion between them. Each one of them emphasizes or puts the focus on your project. And as I said, I know it can be a little bit confusing because most of the projects can fit into multiple categories, but we really highly suggest you to choose, you need to choose one and choose the one that's the absolute goal or purpose of your project. If you want to reach youth or you want to create a dialogue with other minorities or minorities, religious or national minorities, then you should choose the other category. Now, Alina will explain us what projects qualify. And yes, spotlight Alina. Yes, Alina.
Actually, the eligibility requirements are quite clear. Applications to this prize must comply with a dominant criteria. The applications must be supported by legal or natural persons, legally registered or domiciled in countries participating within the strand of the culture strand of Creative Europe, just like Sonia said. The EU member states and third countries associated to the program. If you will go to our website, to the Simone Veil Prize website, once you download the documents, in the documents you will find you will find the direction to the documents that tells you if you are a third country or not, but I'm sure most of the organizations know their position. Entries must be submitted by individuals or organizations with the consent of the project leader or nominee. And all partners and stakeholders must be informed of the application. Or to make it very accessible, we accept applications in all the European languages, but do make sure that if not an English translation is added to it, we will use the online resources, and sometimes these translations are not accurate and we may miss some of the most important features of the project. So just take that into consideration. In terms of exclusion, all applicants must sign a declaration of ethical conduct, and you will find that on the website. Entries or nominations may not be submitted by members of the Secretariat of the prize, member of the jury, or any parties involved in the organization, management, or the implementation of the prize, in order, of course, to avoid conflict of interest. And as Sonia said, I'm reminding you again, each applicant may submit up to 2 applications per year, provided that there are 2 different projects and 2 different categories. Is that all? I'm sorry, Sonia?
Let me just check. So if you want to talk maybe about application process, and maybe I would also mention the timeline of the project.
Excellent. Of course.
Yeah.
So for those of you who want to apply, the first thing you need to do is go to the website. Once you see the website, you will see, beyond being very attractive and very well done by our partners from GOPA, it's also very intuitive and quite minimalist. You download the application form, you read it, you complete it, and then you upload it with the required documents. So basically, this is a very simple, and you will see that the application form itself is very friendly. What we try to do is make it friendly so that people can understand what is required of them, but also give them the opportunity and possibility to integrate the right content. I think that's about it. Once you will have submitted your application, the members of the Secretariat will check the eligibility, meaning the legality of the organization, and that all documents are submitted, and then it will be forwarded to the jury who will evaluate your submission. In terms of timeline, as you could see, the prize was launched in May, and until the 31st of July, you have the time to prepare your application. Do bear in mind that usually the last 2 weeks or 1 week, the last week of any deadline of submissions are very busy, so make sure that you prepare it in advance. Once the submission process is closed, all the applications will be forwarded to the jury, and they will evaluate the applications beginning with August until October. In October, there will be a selection of 25 finalists, and in December, the 5 awardees will be nominated within a ceremony. And I think in terms of timeline, that is about it. Let me know, Sonia, if there's the evaluation, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I can speak a little bit about the evaluation. Hold on. I just need to get my documents in order so I wouldn't make any mistakes. Right, the evaluation process. Once again, the submissions are received, forwarded to the jury. What I want to point out is that whatever you will see in the application form, this will be evaluated by the jury. The 15 members of the jury do have an evaluation grid that contain everything that you were required to do, and they will evaluate based on that. The quality and relevance is one of the highest scores. First of all, you need to add up 70 points in order to be your project to be taken into consideration. Going back to the evaluation criteria, the quality and relevance, it's 30 points. You need to demonstrate very strong alignment with the objectives and values of the Simone Veil Prize. A clear connection, make sure that you establish a clear connection to the cultural heritage, and let us not forget the Jewish heritage. This needs to be, it's a must. The component of Jewish heritage is a must. We already received questions regarding that. So the Jewish component within the project is a must. Make sure you make the connection between the objectives and the project. A direct contribution to the prize category. Make Jewish cultural heritage integral to European identity. Explicit approach to addressing discrimination, anti-Semitism through cultural means. Measures to ensure the sustainability and future viability of the project, its contemporary significance, its target audience, and so on. The other 30 points will go to the European dimension. That's something of extreme importance also in the evaluation grid. How you can do that is either through a cross-border cooperation or transnational relevance or articulating the shared European narratives. The key aspect that will be taken into consideration is connection of the Jewish heritage to broader European history. Enlightenment, migration, resistance, cultural development, destruction, rebuilding, all these are key keywords in building your project. Don't forget the contribution to shared historical understanding across national boundaries. Promotion of European values, extremely important. Elements of democracy, human rights, tolerance, pluralism, rule of law, recognition of both tragic but also celebratory aspects of shared history. Yes, commemoration of Holocaust is important, but let's not forget about the celebratory aspect of Jewish heritage and the other European heritage. Connection between Holocaust memory with contemporary challenges. The involvement of multiple European countries is also something to be taken into consideration. The impact, that will be 20 points. Projects are assessed on the tangible and intangible outcomes they generate for heritage sites or communities or the wider society. Please do think about the measurable results. This is very important, like audience reach, engagement, participation rates, educational outputs, digital access, dissemination, long-term sustainability, the capacity to foster social cohesion, civic engagement, mutual understanding. All this needs to be reflected upon, and if it's in your project, you need to add it. Some of the key aspects of the impact, as I said, measurable changes in attitudes, knowledge, behavior, contribution to local or European social cohesion, evidence in bridging divides between different communities, Jewish, non-Jewish, religious to secular, different national or ethnic groups, success in negotiating historical wounds, and fostering dialogue, creation space of encounter, and so on. Don't forget about the educational and civic outcomes. These also find a place in the impact. Moving forward to the innovation, 20 points. I'm going to be brief and leave some more space to the questions. The key aspects that can be used as a guide for evaluation are co-creation of methodologies involving communities in heritage interpretation, participatory and or deliberative approaches to memory work, innovative volunteer engagement, crowdsourcing strategies, fresh approaching to accessibility and inclusion, new forms of community ownership or stewardship, new approaches to heritage integration, presentation, engagement, creative integration of Jewish heritage with broader European narratives. Don't forget, this aspect is extremely important. Include the European values into Jewishness and Jewishness into European values. Innovative pedagogical or dialogue methodologies, new frameworks for addressing anti-Semitism and discrimination through heritage, original partnerships or governance models, fresh approaches to intergenerational transmission, effective use of digital technologies. Don't be afraid to use that. If you use that, don't be afraid to put it in. We are very happy to see what you were able to create. VR, AR, AI, digital storytelling, social media, whatever you have it, put it there. It's going to be evaluated to your favor. Creative, artistic, or cultural interventions, multisensory or immersive experience. These are some of the examples that will be evaluated. But so that I can sum up and give some room for possible submissions and questions. Whatever unclear thing you have, please do reach out. If we don't know the answer, make sure we will research and we'll get back to you. Because this is, yes, it's a prize that we manage, but it is a prize that you will eventually receive and deserve. And I think I will end this now. Sonia, back to you.
Thank you very much, Elena, for giving us this frame of what is the process and how it functions. On Thursday, besides the questions, we will also go to the website. It seems that it's easy, but we would like to go over it so that we make sure that everyone understands what you need to download and to upload, etc., etc. I'm just sharing here one more time a timeline. Somebody asked what is the deadline. Deadline is 31st of July, and the final ceremony is sometime in December. We still don't have a fixed date, but hopefully soon we will have it. I just want to reflect some of your questions, and with the help of Alina, Victor, or our colleagues in GOPA that I see in chat. One of the questions was about if the project doesn't have an end, so it's ongoing project, if it's eligible. Yes, absolutely, it's eligible. It will be a little bit hard for you to define the impact, a clear impact, if it's still going on. So our suggestion is that you write there that it's ongoing project that started in 2012 and is still ongoing, and by this time this was your outreach or impact, etc., etc. So we welcome projects that are not one-year projects. So please feel free to apply with that. What if the project started into, okay, that's the same question, sorry. The only thing is that your project can't be from February 2026, okay? So it needs to have a history before January 2026. If you're not a registered foundation, I'm reading my name on the screen, but I know it's not me. If you're not a foundation, we are accepting applications from individuals. It's a prize, okay? So if you as individual had a project that you implemented, please submit it. We welcome this idea. We welcome grassroots initiatives, local initiatives as well. It doesn't have to be cross-border. We have just a category for that. So please feel free to apply. Somebody asked about there will be one prize for each of 5 categories. Yes, that's right. And somebody asked about the amounts. Each category the winners will get 10,000 euros. Okay, so multiply by 5. That's the total amount. Okay, if Alina or Victor, you spot another question.
Yeah, I was reading, Sonia, with your permission.
Please.
Question from Martina Mampieri saying, if can winter or summer schools at university levels be considered as projects? Obviously, yes, obviously depending also on the content, but as we can see in festivals, and I think that this could be related with some of the initiatives that people are asking, hey, but this is ongoing, or this is has no limit. Obviously, you can participate and you can apply. You can apply with the project as a whole. You can apply with one of the editions. If you just started, don't worry, because next year there will be again applications open. And obviously, don't hesitate if you have a doubt before starting your application to reach out to us. We commit to answer as soon as possible and to guide you as good as possible as well. And how many projects can be approved? A question from Uri. We said that you can apply with 2 projects in different categories per year. That's the limit, but you can apply in the next year with a different project. That's no issue at all. As I said, if there's any, because there's also some questions related with fine tune, no, like what is the start date or completion date. Let us know if you have any doubts before starting the application. Reach out to us. And the categories and criteria, in principle, it will be the same year after year. We will obviously inform, and the idea is also to organize these kinds of webinars every time that we open the application process. And here we are in order to help. Those were the questions that I got from the chat. Sonia, Lina, thank you.
Thank you very much. There is one question maybe we didn't address from Ulrike. I'm also not sure that I understand it in total. I'm not sure, Ulrike, if you're here, you can also unmute. Did you mean that like what is your budget, or
maybe I can come in quickly. My question is, at the form application, there is one point which is called costs of the project, and so I understand now it's a price, so it's not that I have to show how much I invested in something. So this is a little bit irritating for me. Can I skip this question, cost of the project?
Thank you, Ulrike. We mean the budget of the project in order to gather, obviously, relevant information for the jury to assess and evaluate the project as a whole. For us, if the project is completely voluntarily or volunteer project, it's fine. It's just in order to offer as much information as possible to the jury for them to evaluate with the best elements as possible. So no worries. If you want to be brief in that question, go ahead. No problem.
So that don't apply to me because I finance everything by myself. So this is actually, I can skip this point, right? Okay.
Yes, or you can also write how much you finance it. Like we want to know, the jury won't know it's you. It doesn't really matter who financed it at this point, right? So it just gives a frame of the project. It gives them a frame to understand how much this project costs in this country. So it's not like this decision will not be made based on this also. So whatever you feel like, if you don't want to put anything, just don't put anything.
Thank you very much.
Noemi asked if you're already supported by Creative Europe, if you can be supported again. Yes, this is a prize. It's not a project. It's not a project application. Okay, it's a prize for the work that you already did. So you can, of course, apply. It doesn't matter. It comes from the same source. Sarah asked, what happens if you choose the wrong category to enter? Well, Sarah, next year
it's a good question, actually.
Yeah, it's a good question.
It's a good question, actually, and thank you for that. We're also very keen on seeing how this project is received by the possible applicants. So let us think about this, and if you don't mind to send the question via info on our website, so we can have it and discuss it a little bit, because this issue has not come up yet So let's see how we can reply to you, because we don't want to be in anybody's disadvantage just because you misunderstood, or maybe there's just one fraction of choice and you added to a different category. And your project is very good. This is something that we don't want to have. So please, Sarah, write us on info Simone Veil Prize, and we will reply to you shortly.
There's a question from Noemi. Different sources actually still okay? You mean sources of funding from your project? If you want to unmute Noemi.
Yes, thank you, Victor. Maybe it's easier this way. No,
Yeah.
it was the follow-up on my question about if a project from the organization is already supported by the EU, but not the Creative Europe program. So it would be a different source of funding for a totally different program. Is it still okay to apply to the Simone Veil Prize?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Because here we are not looking at a double source of funding. We are looking at the projects in order to award them. So
Okay.
these 10,000 euros, they are not going to finance your project itself. So
it's a reward.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
I
don't
understand.
hesitate. Obviously, for us, and this is interesting information, to include the source of funding if it's a project that was
Of
granted
course,
by.
in all transparency, of course.
Excellent.
Thank you. Thank
No,
you very
thanks to
much.
you. Thanks to you.
Thank you. There is one question before Sarah's that if I don't know who wrote it, again, my name appears there. If you can unmute maybe and explain to us what you mean.
I would like to know. I would like to know if the structure
Hi.
can apply. Hello, can apply directly because there is many things inside the objective of the structure that can correspond to the I don't know how to say it. Correspond. That's all. Or if you need a project more punctual to apply. I don't know if I am clear. For example, I represent the Transmosaic company. It's we are doing a history, culture, Jewish heritage, and everything, and we are projecting one project by year. So, or you take into account all the company and all the objective of the company, and I will present you all the projects that are always playing today, for example, and maybe the followings. Or if you need, because you were talking about the budget, so I want to know if I have to present you, for example, the next projects of show, for example, or the budget of the structure.
So let me maybe try to answer that if I understand it correctly. Please, Victor, Alina. So we are not looking for a company budget. We are looking for specific projects that are built around Jewish heritage that already took place. Okay, so not a new project that already took place, and we need amount or general amount in the budget question around just that project. Okay, not all other projects that you have in the company.
So it's the new one. Yeah, or not exactly?
It's not the new one because it's the one that ended before January 2026. So it already happened.
Okay, but if I have 10 projects.
Yes.
You should choose.
You can choose one, or you can.
Okay.
Exactly.
You can choose
two. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And obviously, for a direct also consultation, don't hesitate. Maybe here we are many, over 50 people. But if you want to share in more detail, the question will be delighted to answer and try to guide you the best way possible.
Great. I don't see new. Or Victor, please.
Well, there's a question from Elsa. She's asking, just to make sure I understand well, the project needs to have started before January 2026. That's right. Again, we are open. There will be more editions if a project is ongoing or just started this year. And again, don't hesitate to ask a direct question in more detail. But the general answer, I would say, yes, better in this case to wait for the next year edition.
Okay, so maybe as an end, I really want to thank everyone for joining. We wish you, of course, a good luck in applying. On Thursday, as I said, we will show a little bit, navigate you through the website and take more questions that you have. So it will be more a conversation. As it was already mentioned, you have our email, info@Simone Veil Prize. Please write your questions, concerns, etc. We are here really to support you in this process. And we are really here to make sure that all the amazing projects that you are doing are seen and that people have access to them and learn from them as well. Also the jury, but everyone also in my organization and everyone who is involved in this project. So we are here to help. Okay, I think that's important, and let the best projects win, and next year let the new best projects win, and let's continue this work together. So thank you very much, and see you on Thursday.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Just a question. You send this like a video by email?
We are going to make available the recording. Luciano, right?
Yes, that's me.
Yeah. Absolutely. You can count on that, Luciano.
Okay, thank you. Gracias.